we welcome him at this time on behalf of our Sarathchandra Buddhist Center and all the devotees and all the monks. Okay. Please say sadhu, sadhu.
Good morning, everyone. When did you start the 8 precept program or the meditation session? At what time did you start? 7 a.m. How long have you been sitting? Since then. How do you feel now? Do you want to stand up again or sit down? No? Okay, that's good. And it is the retreat that you are having to celebrate the Buddha's birthday and other important events in his life. And also it is Mother's Day too. So it's very significant in that way. When I thought of this both, what I was just thinking in my usual Asian way, and how we look at the mother, in a mother figure in an Asian context. That, probably you have heard this very old story. This is not any modern research or anything. Long time back, one genetic professor, who became a professor later, she did her research along that biological subject line in Berkeley, and finally she studied genetics and finally came to a conclusion that every human being came into this world from one African mother. That's the biological evidence, right? When we look at it from Asian viewpoint, we always see something that for all of us, his mother is very, very important. Then sometimes the fathers think that are we left out, right? But when we look at it this way, that the Asian way of it is that the mother is the one who takes care of the baby. Father is the one who takes care of the mother and the baby. So that is how this connection is in, I think in all cultures, across all cultures, it has a very significant role. Historically, we evolved in that. Even, okay, when you look at that hunter-gatherer era too, right? You know, how human evolution occurred. And for my topic, with that background, I just came into this topic. You remember that we all, probably you have been doing that since 7:30 in the morning. At some point you did this. You practice loving kindness. Right? That's in loving kindness, in general, traditionally what we do is that we start with ourselves and then give it to the loved ones, give it to the not known ones, and give it to the unfriendly ones too. But if when we start that, we start with may I be free from hate, anger, enmity, ill will. May I be free from any illness. May I be free from any trouble. May no harm come to me. May I be well and happy. I'm not trying to impose a mantra, but within these parameters, we can prepare our own loving kindness meditation. Then we go into this loved ones, and then the non-people, to the people who are not friendly. There, what we see is that it is starting from ourselves. Then how do we define this love? That then my mind went into the loving kindness discourse, the famous one, right? I think you have been listening to it in Pali more than you have read it in English or in your own language. That there is one line, give your love to all as a mother who loves her only child. That's a very famous line in that discourse. Just for your pleasure, I just like to say it in Pali. Mata yatha nyan puttan ayusa eka putta manurakhe evam isabhutesu manasambhaveya. As a mother who protects her only child, putting her life second, she will sacrifice her life. I very recently, it is true, I very recently read a story about a mother in England. She had a cancer. And then they are young, the young couple, and they later understood that she was pregnant. What she did was she stopped going into all the other therapy. She and her husband decided, doesn't matter what happens, whatever happens we accept, but we want this new baby to have a life. So that mother stopped taking medication. And she gave birth to the child. She passed away. So that is actually this is just a recent story that I know. The mother who passed away, she was Sri Lankan, and father of the baby is non-Sri Lankan. Then but in our lives, how many times we have, how many stories we have heard about the mother's role in any of us. When we talk about any of us, we have a mother or father. Sometimes this biological part is separate, but other than that, sometimes we have mother figures, father figures in our lives, right? They have played that role in our lives. So that way, that is very significant. That sometimes I have met some people, they don't like their parents because of so many reasons. Then I am not blaming them. Very recently I was just talking to one young engineer. Now she is a mother, and then she was talking about that now she knows how a mother feels. And then how a father is. That I just finally told we cannot blame our mother or father because they did what they knew. Right? They did what they knew. We cannot say that because there are no schools for mothers or fathers to go and learn about it. Right? They learn it on the job. They trial and error. Right? So that's a natural. That's my. I guess this part I put because we have to put it into a perspective of from all angles. That when we look at that mother's, the parents' love, mother and father, they are very important in our lives. Sometimes before I came to the US, sometimes some of my colleagues used to kind of talk about that children-parents relationship is not very strong in the United States. But my experience with my friends was quite very different. I was living in Hawaii. We were in the dormitory. I had several friends. I have some Anglo-American, Afro-American, and from different backgrounds. They would say that they would bring me and say that okay, we live in Hawaii, right? Hawaii, the Honolulu is completely like 5 hours air travel from California, right? From maybe a mother from South Carolina would send maybe cornbread or maybe cookie. I get my share used to get that, and the mother would send that. And that is, then I thought that okay, well, this is completely different from the story that I heard. So there, this relationship is very strong. It can be different, but because it is expressed differently in each culture. But nevertheless, the relationship is very strong. Then how is a mother getting this kind of this way of giving love? Then how do we express this love or put this love into practice? Probably you have heard that what are the virtues of parents? I am not telling that the parents are always that this one particular couple is giving this kind of love to everyone in the world, but they give it to their own children. And also I have seen that for mothers, when they see a child, they forget everything. Doesn't matter whether they are biological child or not. They really like the little kids. The parents, traditionally we see in the Buddhist literature that the parent-children relationship and the spouse relationships and the friends relationship, relatives relationship, clergy practitioner relationship, employer-employee relationships are put as sacred relationships in the Buddhist literature. We find it. If you want to go into details, we can go to the discourse on advice to Singha in the long discourses. There the Buddha was using this example. Why I say it is sacred? Because we bow to any sacred object. Right? The same way that Buddha said that my way of bowing to each direction is different. He said that the Buddha said that my parents are the east quarter. So by taking care of them, I bow to the east quarter. So the bowing is, that is why I say it is sacred. It is not my discovery, I think, as I remember, I read it somewhere written by late Professor Venerable. So Buddha sanctified this relationships. All relationships are very important in that way. So that that is why when sometimes some young father, one time he didn't show up on the regular once a month Buddhist evening at the temple, and he said, well, I couldn't show up because when I came back from work, I saw my wife was so exhausted with taking care of our two children. They are very active, so I thought I should give some rest, let her rest. So I take care of the children. I said, perfectly. You have practiced your Buddhist practice because you took care. The Buddhist way of living is not only going to the temple or going to the meditation center for sitting meditation, quiet meditation, but your Buddhist life is each and every step in your life is a Buddhist life, is a Buddhist step. So that is in that context only we can live a life. That is why I put this loving kindness into this perspective that mother-children relationship is expanded to all relationships in the world. If not, how can we survive? Look at the world that. At macro level, we are living in a hell, right? All the time, because of this, our new technological discoveries, inventions, we get right away within couple of minutes whatever happens in the other part of the world. Then there we see that okay, how many people are being killed. We think by killing we can solve problems. But that's the macro level. But micro level, sometimes some of us say that, oh well, to solve this problem we have to kill them. So we approve it. That is why it is very important for us to cultivate this kind of love, this kind of interrelationship. Interrelationship with the Buddhist whole life, the way the Buddhist life is, Buddhist way of living is, you can call it a way of having relationships. It's having relationship with ourselves too, right? We have to take care of ourselves. The taking care of ourselves doesn't mean just only eating and sleeping and earning. Not only that, also we have to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, in every aspect, right? That is, its relationship is that when we are okay only, then we can give that relationship, give that love to the others. If I am in pain, then when we look at the people who are on street, so like a homeless person, most of the time they have all the F words we are hearing. Their life is very, very difficult due to different reasons. And they always give that. When people have trash, people give trash. When people have good things, they share good things. So that it is very important that we develop, that we cultivate this loving kindness. Then that loving kindness, as I mentioned, may be free from hate, anger, enmity, ill will. Then when we when we think about it, is a meditation. I put it into, it's like three kinds of meditation. There are just the verbal meditations. There are thinking meditations. There are not thinking meditations. This means without letting the mind to take over, we observe things, we watch things. So that's the talking, verbal part is that whenever we do an offering, we do recite chantings, and then we do those things in that we reduce all our conflicting thoughts, negative thoughts, and then we let positive thoughts arise, because we are in front of a positive object, the Buddha. On Vesak day, it's very important that we think about the Buddha too. We respect the Buddha not because he was the crown prince of Shakyan kingdom, right? That role he left, and then after 7 years of his research, he said that 6 years of his research, and after 6 years, then he realized something new, and then he shared that with the world. Because of that, doesn't matter where he was born or where he lived, but the message is very important. So that when we look at that the statue, we just think about the Buddha. And when we think about the Buddha, because his life was very serene, pure, and he could, we can put it this way, he could be mindful in each of his breathing, right? In each of his breaths, he could be mindful. So if he can achieve that, that is called enlightenment, right? So then when we sit and do chant, when we offer flowers, when you do all the offerings, without going in, people do these for different reasons. I am not telling that some people will say that do it and ask from the Buddha, okay, please give me this, please give me that. That is also something. I am not blaming them, but when we really put this meditative aspect into action, that is more like contemplative prayer, right? Whatever we do in front of the Buddha. I am not only putting it into Buddhism only. If you are in front of, or if you are thinking about positive object or positive historical personality, maybe your own mother, your father, or your, doesn't matter. Then actually you are creating that positive stream of thoughts. The same way we do that in front of the Buddha. And then the thinking meditation is that this loving kindness. Then when we cultivate it, when we think and we intentionally look at anything in this world that we do, that we create. Look at this beautiful shrine room. Where did it start? It started as one thought in Bhante, Venerable call it as mind, right? So it became this reality. So same way that when we create this loving kindness thought in our mind, then it will resonate. It will actually vibrate even within the cells of our body, and then the vibration will go away and go spread. That is how that maybe a very loving with the person Sometimes in our lives we have seen like we don't know that we are somewhere else, and then someone walks in. Actually, we don't know at all the person, but just the presence of that person makes us very calm and serene. And we all have these kind of experiences. Same way the negative. Some people, when they walk in, then we don't want to stay there. You want to run away. So that's the same thing. That is because that is why I say that the thoughts, waves are very strong. So then we cultivate these thoughts, loving kindness thought. Number one is that to take away the hateful thoughts from us. Then only we can purify ourselves. Right? We just, it's like we just clean our house, get the garbage out, and then just make ourselves clean, serene. Then we go into this step by step. Why do we do that in loving kindness in that? How I look at it is more important than why we do it, right? I look at it is that is why you invited me to come and talk. That's how I look at it is that doesn't matter whether I say that okay, I want to have an egoless life and I want to reduce ego and I want to attain enlightenment. But don't we think that we all think that we ourselves, I myself is in the center of the whole universe, right? Then if I put it in that center, then who do I want to have be close? And who do we want to not to have the people who are in the world? That means in that way we put this world as myself and others. First we put it as myself and others. In this, wherever I go, I carry this world, myself and others. Finally, when we attain enlightenment, we will see these interrelationships. But usually we do that. And then when we look at the others, we have two kinds of people. People who I know and people who I don't know. And people who I know, also I can categorize it into two. Those who love me or those who I love, or those who don't love me or maybe hate me in a very extreme sense, or who don't like me or who I don't like. So that another. See that now we have myself, people who I like, people who I don't like, and people who I don't know. How do I want to place them? I want to place, I want to be in very safe, secure environment. Right? Then I put this security line around me, and that is why I start, okay, may I be free from hate, anger, enmity and all that, and then finally I put the loved ones around, and then I just create this love towards them. Because if I am not the Buddha, I cannot give that love to my enemies first, right? I have to go step by step, then I'll be okay. Then okay, where I want to put those who I don't like. Should I keep them closer to my loved ones? No, right? I have to put some insulation in between. So I place all the people who I don't know in between my loved ones and not loved ones. In the in a way, it is a security measure. In another way, it is a way of making myself a very good practical action plan, right, for cultivating loving kindness. That way, then I can easily I can love myself, and then I can love the people who I love and the people who love me. Then I don't have any problem with giving love to the people who I don't know. Sometimes we are not very generous with our people who are around us. We become very generous to the people who we don't know. Right? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes you can see that probably your kids. They wouldn't even clean their own rooms, but they would go to a homeless shelter and clean them. Right? That's a way. And also sometimes we think about that. Okay, if someone so and so, that famous movie star or maybe so famous person is now old and sick, but we don't care about our neighbor who is sick, right? So that is a human nature. I'm not telling it is bad or good. It is the human nature. But the loving kindness becomes a virtue when we transform ourselves to transcend that way of thinking. So we just slowly develop this loving kindness into the finally. We always talk about, may all who suffer be free from suffering, may all who have fear be free from fear, may all who are in sorrow be free from sorrow, may all beings be well and happy. So to come to that level, to come to that kind of developing loving kindness is a process. We cannot say that right away you can start it. We have to prepare ourselves to do that. Then that is why it's very important for us to time to time to come to a temple, meditation center, quiet place, maybe outside in a garden or maybe in a public park, maybe just by the water, or you just sit down and develop it, because no disruption, no reason for you to, nobody is coming there and disturbing you. And also it's also a kind of a controlled environment, right? It is like a science lab, right? In the science lab, it is a controlled environment. You can analyze anything because you can control heat, everything you control, and all bacteria, everything. But if you have to analyze a tomato in your kitchen, on the kitchen table, then all those things are there, right? So really, our loving kindness practice is like doing things in the kitchen. But when you come to a meditation center or meditation place, quiet place, when you keep a place for you, that is controlled environment. So that is why the temples are the meditation places, centers, those retreat places, those are important for us. To just get away from that and just cultivate or get more strength. And it's like sometimes the gas station, right? We pump gas and go, right? When the gas is low, we need to go to the gas station. And earlier I mentioned that the living your life in the Buddhist way is a religious life. Sometimes we think our religious life is directly or only connected with the temple or the church. or any other religious place. Maybe a religious symbol is very important. Not necessary. Actually, those are important for that reason. For us to have a better, more controlled, more calm environment without disturbance from the other external factors. So that when we look at this, it's very important for us to develop loving kindness. I think that more than people who talk about, most of the time when we talk about meditation, immediate question is that, okay, when are we going to attain enlightenment, right? But I think enlightenment is also a process. It is, there can be some, maybe some catalytic point when all of a sudden you get there, and that you are not, after that you are completely in self-control in that way. Then well, the whole meditation experience, when we look at, well, individually, when we look at ourselves, okay, sometimes we think that meditation is, okay, what is the use of meditation? Okay, I have been meditating for several months. Then what happened? I am still doing the same thing. I always ask my friends to look at, like, okay, just look at your life back. One time Buddha was advising his own son. He just asked a question. What is the use of the mirror, Rahul? Rahul, even though very young, he responded very intelligently. No wonder he was the son of the Buddha, right? He said, it's for reflection. So when you look at it, it's the reflection. So I can see. And when I see myself, then I can do all this. Okay, do I look good or bad? Or when I go out, or is my makeup is right? Right? All that I can check. The same way, that the reflection. We do that when we reflect back. Okay, when I started meditation, how was I? And how am I now? Am I the same person who would lose temper right away? Or am I better than that? Well, if I had that problem. Or if I am a very greedy person, am I a greedy person, greedier? Or I am less, more generous? Right? That we can check. That is why I say that we use the Buddha's teachings as a mirror. That way, I think it's very important for us to look at our practice. The progress of our practice can be assessed that way. Then the going into loving kindness, that not, well, some people ask that, okay, just by sitting and, okay, may I be free from hate, anger, enmity, evil, may I be free from any illness, may I be free from any trouble, may no harm come to me, may I be well and happy. And then going in, like, spreading spirally to the rest of the world. Then is it enough? Really, that as I said, that all great things started in one thought, right? So then when we give these kind of self-suggestions for us to, then slowly there are certain things changing in us, and then we start to act that way. And when we start to act that way, And the action part is how we look at when we see people suffer. We always want to help them. Not necessarily going to Africa or Asia to work for them. Even at home. Well, am I, when I am living this life, my partner, my spouse, my husband, my wife, okay, am I thinking of the other person well? Am I helping the person? So we change ourselves and go into then look at that, how we develop this. Then what are the benefits? That's very important. I always talk about this, and then compassion also not only just going to help the people who are in trouble, but also, well, these days we see all these graduation photos, right, everywhere on social media and everything. And graduation pictures, when I see, it's oh, someone graduated, great. So what am I doing? I am developing some joy on others' happiness. Right? That is also the part of our loving kindness, our expression of loving kindness, right? And then there is, we translate traditionally as sympathetic joy. Then there is this another part that even though we give love to others, even though we do compassionate actions, we do have sympathetic joy, then we have to understand, we have to realize, always the other person, whatever I give, they don't owe me anything. They are separate individuals. We have to accept their different identities. That is how I look at equanimity. That is that is very important to look at that. In that way, we free them. We give freedom to all the others. Doesn't matter, because I do this favor, I do this for you, so that you have to do this to me. You have to live the way that I want. If not, if we don't have this kind of equanimity, then what happens is that we only love to the people who I like, or who I am with, or like that. So that these four virtues, loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity, all four are the virtues that are developed by the parents, mother and the father towards their children. Then when we look at the loving kindness another way, we are creating a secure environment, right? When we look at loving kindness, okay, why a child is very, very free and happy, jovial, climbing up here and there. Okay, if there is a child here with his or her parents, we can see that how active they are. Why? Because he or she has that sense of security. Whatever happened to me, there is someone to look after me. So how about that if you look at this the same way, if you are the supervisor, boss in your office or in your workplace, and if the employees that you are working with, if they have the feeling that, how would they be productive? Right? If we can transmit this message, loving kindness message, that is why it's another way. Loving kindness is a welfare message, also taking care of message, security message, right? Okay, go ahead and do your job well, if something goes wrong, I stand by you. Kind of, if he can give that kind of trust, security to the person, therefore people will work without any supervision too, right? If he can actually, sometimes, well, we cannot use the same method same way of giving this loving kindness to everyone the same way, because some people are different. So depending on their capacity, we have to use different methods. But it will work. It works. I personally have that kind of experience too. So that's why I say that this loving kindness, the parents give, mothers give, and I thought it is very useful and also appropriate topic to talk about on the Mother's Day. And then also there is something that I want to share about the life of the Buddha too. You know that there are the Buddha's mother, Gautami, Prajapati Gautami, who became the first nun in the Buddhist order. She came to the Buddha and said that was the last meeting between this Mother Prajapati Gautami and the son, the Buddha. It was very kind of, when we look at it in Apadana Pali, the Buddhist text, I just look at it in a kind of a way, like a drama, right? So the Buddha sitting and the Prajapati Gautami is coming, and then she was telling, you know, the Venerable, you know, the master, that okay, I breastfed you, right? Then also, but you breastfed me the Dhamma. And also I gave you hard time, asking you to change certain the rules that were only for nuns, which I didn't think it's right. So she was telling all this, and finally the Buddha asked the mother, okay, when you ask permission to end your life in this, then I cannot say anything. But before that, show some iddhi, the miracles, miraculous powers, and then end your the mortal life here. And then she did that. And Buddha asked that from from the Yasodhara, the nun Yasodhara, who was the former wife. I think that because this is my mundane way of looking at it, right? I don't know what Buddha thought. But I look at it as that, okay, these two, one mother and one wife, well, the Buddha left this princely life and then became the Buddha and started completely different organization, spiritual organization, and then finally, well, slowly they come back. It's like, so people would have thought that, okay, he started the same family life there. So that he wanted to show that, okay, no, they were not here before because of my relatives. They were here because their calling was that, to practice. And that practice, well, people, generally you cannot show your spiritual advancement just by telling it. Well, you have to show something. So that well, Buddha asked them to show it. So that is how I just shared this, how I thought about it. So, but finally, Buddha, after giving all the permission, actually Buddha walked Prajapati Gautami to the gate. That's what I wanted to share. the Buddha, for us, we cannot fathom his spiritual level. But see that he himself respected his own mother, just walking her. That's the last walk, right? So with that note, I want to conclude my sharing. My central concept was loving kindness, and all the others I just attached with that. If you have anything to share, I really like to hear from you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Any questions for Bhante or comments?
I have something to share.
Yes?
Yeah, last time, like a few years ago, there was somebody who, I was, like gardening in front of my house, and then there was two African, like a young boy, They came over and they want to get into the house, to lock the house. And then they put the gun right here. And then they hit me with the gun too. Really want to go into the house. But at that time, I didn't have the key to open the door. Dogs were barking. And then suddenly I remember the loving kindness. I said, they're really threatening me. They really like corner me at the front door. Really want to kill me, or I opened the door for them to come in. But I didn't have the key. I told them, I don't have the key. You can check me. That's the truth. Because I left the key in the house, I went around the side to go to walk in the front yard. And then I suddenly remember Buddha's Dharma saying that even if somebody wants to kill you, you have to use loving kindness. And I say, may you be well and happy. Ask what? Yes, may you be well and happy. And then they say, okay, turn around, look at the door. I asked them, what for? He says, so that you can run away. You don't see where we run away, which directions. And I say, yes. And look, they really run away. You see the power of loving kindness. Yes. And I talked to Bhante Piyananda in Crenshaw. He said, yes, it's not a mantra, but you really have loving kindness towards them. That's what they feel. And then they just let it go. And then after that, they get caught. They get caught. I just had to go to court. And the detectives, the LAPD detectives told me that you're really, I don't know what you did, but they kill other people. That's why they have now death penalty. And the case was tried like in February. Yes, you see the power of loving kindness. It's really, really.
Thank you.
Works, yes. It's really true, yes.
Yeah, that's a real encounter, right?
They really hit me here with the gun. And they put the gun right here. I think I'm gone, I also remember Buddha said, like, if you're gone, this was like a light bulb. And if you can go somewhere, so I was very calm. I said, may you be well. And it really works. They asked me, what? Yes, may you be well. I said, okay, 2 or 3 times. And then they let me go. Really.
In their lives,
yeah, it's
that was the first time they heard something like that.
Yeah, you know what? Somebody who try to kill, and they say something weird like that. It's really, really close. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
it's a good story.
Just like Buddha's Dharma saving my life. Just follow it. It's really good.
Yeah, it says that there are 11 benefits of the loving kindness. I know this topic is very, very, very familiar topic for me. It's
like a shield. Yeah, it's like a shield, a strong shield.
Yeah, that's right. You can see it says that you can sleep well. right? Number
Yeah.
one. You can wake up it's very fresh. Because if we don't have enemies, that if even we can, well, others can have myself as an enemy, but if I develop loving kindness, then I will get rid of all the enemies, right? That is one in one of the famous Mahayana text. Shantideva says that in how can I destroy all the bad people? They are like sky. There are so many. So how can I destroy? Then he says, oh, I know that when I kill the very thought of my anger, then I kill all of them. He says. To kill your enemies, kill your anger, right? Hate. Now it is time, right, Venerable? And well, to end this, let me do a loving kindness. Loving kindness blessing. I always end my thoughts that way. May all who suffer be free from suffering. May all who have fear be free from fear. May all who are in sorrow be free from sorrow. Dukkhapatta jani dukkha, bhayapatta jani bhaya, sokapatta jani soka, hontu sabbe pipanino, sabbitiyo vivachantu, sabbarogo vinassatu, mate bhatvantarayo, sukhi dighayo bhava. May all obstacles be away from your path. May all ailments cease. May no danger come to you. May you have a happy and long life. Thank you.
Sadhu.
When most Venerable call it Nayakatero, he is a very senior monk in our order in Sri Lanka. And besides Venerable Dhammarama, he is the most senior. And he just told me very nice reason for having this talk. He said that their loved cat who was here, he passed away, to share merits with the cat who passed away. He wanted to do this and invite a monk and do this number talk, and may all the merits that we earned out of this good act, may that cat, loving cat, shared by that cat, and then be well and happy. It is the thought that we are going to have. This reminds me, one day another man who came to our temple, he was sitting there and he was crying, because he later told me that I am not a Buddhist, but I thought that you can help me. I came here. And then he said, my cat is very ill and he is undergoing a surgery. So I am very sorry. Then I asked, did you talk to your own religious clergy? Oh, he said that, oh, there are so many animals, so don't worry about it. But I said, no. This is well, there are so many animals, it's true, but this cat is very important because there are a lot of things that we learn from them too, the cat and dogs too. I always say that learn how to love from your own dog. That's very important. The cats are very special too. They don't show you their love the way that the dog does. they are a little bit reserved, but when they want, they always come. But they are showing love. It's always just coming in, just coming onto maybe your lap or wherever they want, they will come and they get it from you. So it's very nice thought. And do you have a name for him?
Have a good life. Actually, we always wishing her to have a human life.
Okay. Okay. That's we want her to have a human life. And may wherever she is, be well and happy. And may all peace, prosperity and happiness be with her. With that great wish, let us share these merits with the departed cat. We recite may these merits be with that cat and also all departed friends and relatives. May they be well and happy. Idam ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Same way that may all the guardian angels and deities share these merits, enhance all their riches in their lives, and also bless all of you, bless all the Sangha members who upkeep this place very nice, and also the Venerable Kolita and Venerable Srinivasa and other monks. They have started another temple in Lancaster, and also they will start more temples for many people to come and share the Dhamma and the practice. So may they be protected by all the guardian angels and deities. May all will be protected and supported by all the guardian angels and deities. With that wish, let us share merit with the Devas and other beings. Ettavasāca mehi samvetam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavasāca mehi samvetam punya sampadam sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavasāca mehi samvetam punya sampadam sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. May all wholesome actions that we did and that we are going to do today, may all this be part of our journey to end suffering and achieve freedom. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.